God called me to do this, so I feel like it's necessary to let people know just how God has changed my life drastically. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today on today's video. As you can see from the title, I will be discussing a part of my testimony journey when it comes to how God delivered me and saved me when it comes to alcohol, drugs, my life when I was very promiscuous. All of it got very, very wild, and I was on a downward spiral to where I felt like I was literally about to lose my life. So let's go ahead and dive right into this as I explain how God just truly always had his hand on my life, and how my relationship and my faith in him has gotten to the point that it has gotten to today. First things first, I've always known who God is. I grew up in a household where I was surrounded by praying women. I went to church. I knew about Bible study. I knew about all those things, but at the same time, I didn't have as a child, a true intimate relationship with Christ. For further detail, I came from a pretty strict home. Not gonna lie, my dad, he was in the Marine Corps. My mom, she was a civilian worker, and she was around the lifestyle when it came to military life. I have an older sister, about 10 years. Because of the age gap, it was like she had her time to herself, and I had my time to myself, especially when she got out of the house and went to college and everything. But that's besides the point. I was really sheltered as a child. I didn't get to do too many different things that a lot of other kids were doing at my age. People were like just super protective of me. Honestly, they thought they were doing what was best for me at that time. I was around the lifestyle of Bible study, prayer, going to Sunday school, summer Bible study and all that stuff. My grandma going to her church, going to church every Sunday. I knew who God was. My family explained what God did and what he did for other people. I would say as soon as I got like in junior high, things started to change for me. I tried to do what other people were doing just so I could fit in and I guess fit the standard of how their lives were. I was just pretending to be somebody I wasn't, honestly, just to fit in. Like I said, I knew what I was doing wasn't right just so I could be so-called a part of the clique, but at the same time, I wasn't part of the clique because I felt like I was trying too hard. People knew I was trying too hard, and they made jokes about me anyway. I knew I was being influenced by a lot of my classmates to just do what was popular, but I knew God would appreciate it more if I was just being myself, which I tried to do as I went into high school. But once I got around a different, completely group of people that I had never met before, I started a magnet school when I got to high school. Just a completely new set of people who were nothing like anybody else I had previously known from junior high and elementary school. Just a different vibe that just was refreshing to get around. And then from like junior high to high school, I'd say I had like this ugly duckling swan transformation. More guys were starting to notice me, and that's something I didn't really experience because once, like I said before, I was just trying too darn hard. And plus, my parents, they had announced they were getting a divorce when I was like in junior high. I didn't take it very well because my dad was the only real solid male figure. Outside of uncles and everything, but we were in the house together every single day. And it really hurt me, especially once he moved out. I didn't have him like I was used to, and all these other older guys were like showing me a whole lot of attention once I got into high school. And that's just something I hadn't experienced before. And your girl was feeling herself. I just, like, I didn't know how to take all of that and control all of that. Eventually, I started dating an older guy. He ended up, let me tell you, he called the wrong phone number trying to reach somebody else. And I answered the phone at home. And he just felt inclined to find out who I was and all of this. So I started talking to him. I ended up meeting him at the mall with a bunch of friends, and it turns out he knew someone I knew in high school. At the time, it wasn't a sensible relationship, considering our age gap, but I was young and I wasn't aware. I felt like I needed to fill the void. We started dating. He was with me. We dated for quite a bit of time. Went to prom with me and everything. He ended up being my oldest child's father. So, yeah, we went our separate ways to co-parent and everything. That's his own backstory that I'll talk about later on. Honestly, I knew it wasn't right for me to be with him, and I think some people around me, I know people around me knew it wasn't right for us to be together, but they felt like I needed somebody in my life, I suppose, and if they weren't going to do anything about it to stop him, then why should I? So, but I felt convicted a lot of that time, and I knew I wanted to change it, but I just felt like I got so deep into a relationship with him that there was no turning back at that point. We did eventually stop dating. That was like in high school for some time, and when I was getting all that other attention from other guys, I started taking an advance toward that attention. Uh, I talked to them on the phone. We'd meet up, and I basically turned into a promiscuous mess. I was doing stuff with guys at my job, stuff with dudes not even in my high school. I was doing things with people who knew some of my friends, and I was just, I don't know what I was trying to do. I don't know what I was trying to accomplish by letting people enter inside of me in a special, intimate way. It became such a pattern and a lifestyle that it followed me. I allowed it to follow me into college, where it took an even more dramatic turn. I became associated with drugs and alcohol, not right away, but I had, at some point, I had got back with my um, son's father, honestly. And then I just broke up with him all over again so I could do my thing in college. I didn't want any restrictions or felt like I was doing him wrong or anything. So in the back of my mind, I knew I was gonna get into some stuff once I got to college. I moved away from home. I mean, it wasn't that far, but I wasn't in the vicinity of my normal hub of people. I went to college about 45 minutes up the road, and once I got there, man, let me tell y'all, it was, I mean, I knew what college was, and I knew what college was for. I just did not know about all the forms of stimuli that can pull you away from the main objective of going to college. Call me naive, call me whatever you want, but I got a taste of that after maybe my first, second semester. I went in focused. I knew what I had to do. I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't do it because the opinions of other people talking about that's not a dignified career path. So I was pretty much just taking basic necessary classes until I figured out what was a respectable career field. Once I got a bit of the taste of the college partying, the drinking, getting alcohol, getting drugs, particularly just marijuana. I didn't do anything else. Thank God. It became a pretty much a everyday thing for me. I would study, go out, um, get home, get to my dorm at like 2 o'clock, go to sleep, wake up, go to class, try to function throughout the day, take a little nap here or there, in between classes, get back, eat, study, and go out again. Like, it was a college town. There was pretty much something to do every single night. If there wasn't a bar, a club, or something open, somebody was having a kickback at their apartment. And I found myself in those situations. After a while of being in those situations, I realized what I was doing was just not okay. I realized that, like, Nat, your parents would not be happy about this. Mama and daddy ain't gonna be cool about this if they knew what you was doing. So I went to see my counselor, talked about things I was interested in, and eventually I settled on biomedical sciences, because I thought about being a pharmacist. Something happened to me when I was a kid. I had a severe allergic reaction, and a pharmacist, she knew what to do. She gave me what I needed, and I was better within a few hours, if not a day or two. And I just remembered that event, and I said, hey, look, pharmacy, okay, salary, okay. But once I started the classes for it, I would say this is probably my sophomore year. I had finally established a major, after I got all my basic classes done and everything. So I went through, like, I guess the intro to biomedical sciences, like what it entails and everything. Just after that teacher said, you need to be in undergrad, go through undergrad and get your biomedical sciences degree. Then you got to go back to school again. I nearly like said, oh no, I'm not finna sit through more of this for another 4 years. After that semester, I checked it. No, I dropped the class, basically. I said, I'm not doing this. No. Um, I decided to change my major to elementary education because I come from a family of educators. My grandma was a teacher, my sister's a teacher, my mom was a teacher. I had aunts who were teachers, cousins who were teachers. Like, it was just, I was around that. I thought I knew what it entails, rather. Once I started classes towards that, I had observation of, I had to go to a classroom. I don't know why they had me go to a classroom so soon. For what reason? I guess once again, just to see if this is something that you truly want to do once you get yourself in the actual environment. So I mean, I went to a local elementary school and in the college town, and woo, once again, I wasn't having it. I said no. These kids are not, no, just no. So I changed my major within that semester to accounting, and uh, I started on the accounting class. I stayed in it for the semester, but eventually I ended up dropping that too and changing my major. Finally, to one last thing, marketing. I just said, let me just settle on this. Even though I basically wanted to do fashion merchandising because I was into the latest styles, the latest stuff on the runway. I like to look good. I like to have nice clothes and shoes. I was truly interested in it at the time, before I had even entered college, because we had like a course in high school where you do this test on the computer, multiple tests, and it determines by your answers. Y'all know what degree, what field you should go into. So out of all the tests, the main reoccurring one was buyer, fashion merchandiser, along those lines. So, like I said, people didn't think it was a respectable career, so I tried to find something else that was. So, eventually, I settled on marketing, and I had a tug of war with myself about that as well. About like, God, I'm doing something that honestly I don't want to do, but I've gotten so far along. Like, once again, when it came to my relationship with my son's father, I got so far along into college. Like, I'm almost a junior, and I can't keep doing this. I need to settle on something and quick, because I can't just keep changing my mind. I was talking to God about it, and about other things that were going on in my life when it came to me just doing the most on the college campus, when it came to my promiscuous lifestyle there, deciding on where to settle when it came to my education, and talking to my counselor about that. She said that it was going to set me back by a whole year, and I was on a military stipend, a GI Bill, and like, I'm like, really? My dad is going to be furious. So, but honestly, even if I decided to do anything else, I was going to have to graduate in 2011, and I ended up graduating in 2012. And during all this time of the changes, I was living a party lifestyle. I was going out to the bars, to the local clubs, to, like I said, house parties, kickbacks, all this stuff. I was doing the most. When it came to my sex life, I was like hooking up with just like anybody I felt an attraction to. And baby, let me tell you, we was getting it on a consistent basis. I was doing these things. After a while, I developed a reputation. Looking back on it now, I had developed a reputation of being a certain kind of person, a certain kind of girl, so that I was easy. You could get with me, and we could do just about, well, not just about, we could do the thing. I mean, I went out there doing it with absolutely every guy I came across, but I had made a name for myself for doing certain things, and it prohibited me from doing some things that I wanted to do while I was in college. Hey, it is what it is, and I'm not one to try to sugarcoat situations, but I had gotten into another relationship in college. It turned into something abusive, both verbally and physically, and over time, things escalated to an extreme level where my apartment was damaged, and eventually I had gotten out of the dorm lifestyle and got an apartment, um, and he damaged my apartment, so I had to do some things to keep him at distance. After that relationship, I said I wasn't dating guys no more. So my eyes fell onto someone of the opposite sex. Homegirl and I, we got involved with each other pretty dang quick. It got to a point in our relationship where we even got engaged. But still, there were things inside of me where I couldn't commit to anything or anyone, because I was getting so much attention from these other individuals. And still, there was this void with my relationship with my dad, amongst other things that I was just trying to fill with a love that obviously wasn't meant for me. I just kept trying to find something that I could hold on to desperately, that could feel me, that was like no other feeling I ever felt before. I dabbled in other relationship with other women, and once I had explored so many relationships with women, there came a day where I was at a church service, and the preacher was preaching about lifestyles, and how you're trying to obtain something that you can only get from God. And I just felt so convicted that day. Like he was talking specifically to me. I knew God was speaking to me directly. Um, God was trying to tell me that this life that I was living was just not pleasing to Him, and that I needed to take a quick look, a good look at what I was doing to myself. I went back to my apartment after church, and I just sobbed. I cried. I cried out to God. I cried out to the Lord, because I was trying to fill a void from the time that my parents announced their divorce to the distance between me and my father. I was trying to fill it with the affection of men and women, and suppressing my feelings through alcohol and marijuana. But I knew going down that path was not the answer for me. I was confessing and crying out to God just to please allow a change to happen within myself, in my mind, and in my heart. Honestly, that was a few weeks before I had graduated from college when that happened, and the day of graduation came. So many people were in the audience for me. My mom, my dad, my sister, my niece, nephew, grandma, uncle, aunties. They were just so proud of me and just so happy to see me fulfilling an opportunity that so many people in our family hadn't got to do before. At the same time, I knew how proud they were of me, but I wasn't proud of myself for all the things I had did while I was in college. I just wasn't focused enough in that moment. I felt like, yes, I'm graduating, but I'm not doing what I want to do. I'm not proud of myself for how I got here, how I had to literally just settle to get to that point. But there was no turning back at that point. So yeah, graduated from college, and I had no job offers, absolutely zero. I ended up moving back home, up to my hometown. I had applied throughout a majority of my senior year, and went to a bunch of career workshops, a bunch of job fairs, and I applied, had my resume, did mock interviews, but nothing sticked for me. I went back home. I applied for stuff there in my hometown of Montgomery. Went to Birmingham. I applied for stuff. I applied for stuff in Auburn. I applied for positions in Atlanta, as well as Mobile, Huntsville. I did a lot of applications, a lot, and a lot of interviews, but nothing stuck for me. So I was getting really discouraged, very discouraged. I said, Lord, I did the work. I got my degree, even though it was something I didn't want to do, and I turned out to be good at it, but nothing was coming. Nothing. I wanted to give up. I really wanted to give up. One of my good friends just told me to keep applying, keep trying. Look on LinkedIn, Indeed. So I started on there. I found something at a marketing group and a marketing organization based in Alpharetta, Georgia, a few minutes outside of Atlanta. Drove up to Atlanta, did the interview. It felt like it was going to be a great position for me. I was super excited. Told my parents about it. They seemed happy for me. So I packed up my stuff. By late August, early September, I was in Marietta, Georgia. But things with that job did not turn out to be how like I expected at all. It threw me for a complete loop, because what they said at the interview versus what I was doing when I actually got there, two completely different things. Like I said before, I was already in the situation. I had gotten that far along that I felt like, hey, I'm here. I might as well stick it through and settle with where I am. Then my lifestyle reared its head on me once again. I remember telling myself specifically, okay, Natalie, you can still have a little bit more fun. Bad decision. Bad. Completely bad decision. With that being said, I will be ending today's video right there. To catch the second part, you all will have to come back, and I'm going to need you all to turn on your notification bell so you won't miss that upload. I'm definitely looking forward to sharing more about how God saved me from being a sheltered child, from a wild child. So I look forward to seeing you all on the next video, and until next time, y'all be easy and peace.